Today, let's talk about the importance of a logo for your business. Now, contrary to what you would expect me to say, a logo, or at least short term, is not actually that important. It only becomes of any use to your business mid-term to long-term. If you have a situation where you are starting a new business and you are really just wanting to prove that the business will work, and the cost of sorting out a logo and various branding material would cost more than just getting your hands on the product to sell, or short-term advertising to see if there is a demand, then contrary to what you'd expect me to say as a branding specialist or as a logo designer, I would have to say no, it's not actually necessary. So why is it necessary at all? Well, let's just say that you know the business you want to get into is going to be successful because perhaps you've been doing it already for your boss and it's time to branch off on your own. Well, under those circumstances, I would say that it's most definitely advantageous. It's almost like getting a mortgage for a house. The sooner you do it, the sooner you will pay for it, and the sooner the investment pays off, the sooner it becomes an asset. And that's the same with a brand. You see, whenever you start a new business for the first time, you're a nobody. And there are very few companies these days that actually manufacture anything. So if you're selling something, yes, at the beginning you're going to be relying on the quality of the brand you sell. You're going to be relying on the brands of the products you can service, i.e. is there already a demand? And your name is not going to mean anything yet. So really, to get the business in is going to be based on demand, or it's going to be based on your price. You're going to be the cheapest. But there will come a time in the future when your name should start meaning something. You see, the way we're genetically wired in the brain is very different to what we think. We actually think that we're quite clever. And we actually think, or would like to think, that we make informed decisions for every purchase we make. We like to believe that we compare the products or the services and that we compare them like for like and make that all-important informed decision on which one we're going to buy, which service we're going to undertake. But 9 times out of 10, unless it's a house or a car or something sufficiently expensive to make us spend the time working things out from a like-for-like scenario, what we actually do is we choose the one that feels right. Well, the reason why it feels right as opposed to be that all-important informed decision is because whenever we don't know what to do, and this is more to do with biology than psychology actually, whenever we don't know what to do, that's when the limbic system, there are 2 main parts to the brain, that bit that gives you that power of reason, the bit that makes you feel you're making the all-important decision, the bit of the brain that you can hear your voice inside your head. That would be the Neanderthal part, which is strange because Neanderthal sounds old, right? But it's not as old as the limbic system, which doesn't even understand the power of reason. The way it works is by invoking chemically induced emotions that you actually feel, and then your Neanderthal part of the brain picks up on and makes decisions based on how you feel. So you've got oxytocin, serotonin, dopamine and endorphins running through your body, and that's where you get your gut instinct from. Well, the limbic system, the most archaic part of the brain, is what allowed us as cavemen to survive the dinosaur. It is our get out of shit quick card. It's our survival mechanism. It's also the main cause of procrastination. I'll stick a link in the description and as one of those YouTube cards for you to have a look at. But I did a video many years ago that explains this. I'm cringing already because the quality of the video is slightly different to the type of videos I do today. But the content is good, so I'm going to give it you. But yeah, we look for, or the limbic system looks for key triggers in order to make its instant decision and then chemically induce a feeling that we can react upon. That's why it's so quick. Some of the key triggers is something particularly popular. And if it's popular, that means that you can see it everywhere. We know Coca-Cola is popular. We even know the story that even the bum on the street, compared to the president of the country, cannot get a better Coke. That is what I call quality integrity to its extreme. So we know that a company or a brand can be chosen by customers by how popular we believe it is. Now, of course, this is something that can happen for a company naturally. If a company provides a good product and they get that offering under the nose of the customer, what we would now call today marketing, you take it to market. Okay, you might not have a market store anymore, but you are most definitely advertising the product, as in taking it to market. If enough people see the product and they buy the product or service on its merit, and they are happy with the product or service, and it's a consumable, they are likely to buy it again. People are likely to see the product everywhere. And if people are likely to see the product everywhere, they are likely to choose it too when their limbic system kicks in, because they don't really know enough about the product or comparing it to other people's to make a decision. Yeah, I'll buy that, it's popular, I've seen it everywhere, I recognize it. I recognize the provider, I recognize the brand. Now you have a look in the Oxford Dictionary for the definition of the word brand. Branding. It will come up with the branding iron for when they used to brand cattle. It will say mark indelibly, and there may be some kind of mention to do with marketing. Well, the reason why that is because brands or branding, identifying the producer of a product, once it becomes popular enough, becomes synonymous with quality. Because the assumption is always there that if a product is not popular, there's probably a reason why. It's not always that the product is new, but it might just be the fact that the product is not that good. So if I've got a choice to make, as in, do I want to use a product I've never heard of, or want to use a product that I see every single day, I'm going to choose the one that's popular because it's most likely to be the safer option. And even if it's a little bit more expensive, that can also, believe it or not, reassure me that, oh, well, if it's not the cheapest, it must be pretty good then. Well, this happens for companies quite naturally, organically. However, if you are competing against other companies, against other products and services, and you want to speed things up a little bit, you can do that with branding. And the main tool for branding, the main tool you need that will help build consistency and continuity across all marketing media in its entirety, is your logo. How many times have you seen advertising media, marketing material from companies that you're considering buying from, and you're quite shocked to realize, oh, that price list and this leaflet and that advert I saw in the phone book, they're actually the same company. And you only realize, if you're lucky, on the day that you're making the decision. You probably thought there were 2 or 3 companies. Well, that means that their marketing media is not creating consistency and is not creating awareness of their brand. It's a waste of money. So, going back on the points then, short term, a logo is not that important, because if you're just proving that there is a demand short term by sticking an advert out there somewhere, doing a bit of marketing and making your decision based on the more instant results, then yeah, there's no need. If, however, you're looking mid-term, several months, and you're going to be doing quite a few different type of leaflets in different areas, Yellow Pages advert, which you won't do anymore. Since January 2019, the book doesn't exist anymore. But maybe Yale.com, maybe something on Google, maybe something on the radio, social networks, and all of the other bits and bobs of marketing media you can use, then the incorporating of a logo that can be easily identified, that can be recognized, is going to help build awareness of your brand that much quicker. And even if it's not necessarily true at the beginning that your brand is as popular as it's perceived, because obviously the advertising out there has been facilitated by your branding, it's not going to be before long where the popularity of your product catches up. Because let's face it, if your product is bad enough, and this is textbook stuff here, if you have one happy customer, the textbook says that they will tell one other person how happy they are. If you upset one person, however, they will tell 8 people how upset they are. So really, if you are selling a product that there is plenty of supply out there and it's not particularly good, it doesn't matter how effective your branding is, your company is not going to survive. However, if you have a good offering, a good quality service, a good quality product, then your branding is going to help you pretty quickly to get your name out there, to get it recognized, so that when someone sees your advert 2 or 3 weeks ago, and then they are ready to make a decision, and they start looking and they see your billboard, or they see your advertising in some kind of other form of media, and they recognize, yes, that's the company I saw 3 weeks ago, they are more likely to choose your organization over the other one that they're not even sure if they recognize, and they sure as hell don't know that it's the same company they saw the leaflet from 6 months ago. Does that make sense now? It's all about whether, when they don't know what they need to know to make that informed decision, that when their limbic system kicks in and gives them a chemically induced emotion that says which company feels right, if they recognize your company, then you're going to be the company they feel like going with. Well, I hope that helps. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to put some comments in the description, and I'll get back to you. Thank you for listening.